What is going on? What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Julian Stoutt, licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, world record powerlifter, special education teacher, here to take the fear out of fitness. We're about to take off, and class is in session. It is July 10th, 2024. What it be like, folks? What's going on? How you doing? Me? Hot as hell. It is hot. It's going to get hotter over the next few days. Hopefully you guys are staying well hydrated. Hopefully you guys are taking either some form of electrolyte balance beverages, or you are eating nutritiously enough that your electrolytes are balanced well on its own. Make sure you stay hydrated, especially at a time like this. Over the course of this show, I am going to be staying hydrated. I am drinking fluids, plenty of them, because yes, you're going to get sweaty. All right. So you see the title and thumbnails, guys, and what is going on? What is going on? What in the world is going on? Because I am looking around nowadays, and everybody is struggling. They are not in shape. They are not healthy. They are not looking to be the best version of themselves as humanly possible. What everybody is doing now is simply looking to have the easy fix. And one of the things that my mother, my grandmother used to tell me all the time, and I'm going to keep repeating it, is easy street is the hardest street to walk. Why is easy street the hardest street to walk? Because people do not understand the mindset. By the way, if you're looking right now, you see the shirt that I have on. It says MEAN. It is my motto. It is mindset, encouragement, accountability, and nutrition. And focusing on the mindset aspect of things. What people don't realize is that you're going to go through adversity. You're going to go through some struggles. And if you're not mentally prepared to go through those struggles, you are really going to struggle. So, for instance, a year and a half ago, today, as a matter of fact, ironically, a year and 5 months today, I had hip surgery. Now, if I have never been through any type of adversity physically, that surgery would have put me through a serious level of adversity. It would have put me through a whole lot of stress. I would have been pissed off. I would have been angry. I would have been stressed out. And I would have been, woe is me, and I would have laid down and allowed things to happen, as opposed to pushing myself beyond my comfort zone to get to the next level. Guys, I was in pain before the surgery and right after the surgery, all right? And the funny part was, if I didn't know what pain felt like, if I didn't know what types of things and adversities I was going to have to go through, this would have been one of the most difficult things I would have had to deal with in my life. And I've been through a lot. And the thing that I can say proudly is, as a man that was 46 years old at the time, I recovered from my hip surgery completely in 10 months. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those of you who are watching, that surgery recovery time was supposed to be 12 months. I did it in 10. I probably could have done it sooner, but the doctor was like, ease up. You're not Superman. On top of that, you're 46 years old. You don't need to be going through trying to be extra special, trying to be more than what you already are. For the simple fact that you walked into your rehabilitation center on under your own power says a lot about who you are. Shout out to my physical therapist. And he did not expect me to walk in. When he saw the chart of who's walking into his facility, he was expecting a 46-year-old man who recently had hip surgery. So he was expecting crutches, cane, hobbling, or walker, some variation of the sort. But what he got was me. And the reason I'm not trying to make myself more special than I am. You all are special too. And what I'm trying to get you to understand is that you guys can have the same mindset if you want it. You guys can have the same attitude about life if you want it. And you can have the fitness that you want in life if you want it. Nothing should stop you from being in the best shape that you can possibly be in at any given time, despite the trials and tribulations that you might find yourself in. I've seen some of the most insanely shaped people be paraplegics. I've seen paraplegics do things that I'm not doing. Not saying that I can't, because I would have to train for it, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I could do what they could do. But they do it. Even though, despite their shortcomings of not being able to use their legs, they are very much in the positive aspects of their lives. And it is important that you guys understand this mindset, because this is one of the portions of what it's going to take for you to get in shape. That mentality, the mindset of not expecting things to come easy, not willing to give it up because it's difficult, not willing to walk away because it's not going the way you thought it would go, or it's not looking the way you thought it would look. So the first thing I'm going to address, honestly, is our expectations. How do you get in shape? First and foremost, eliminate expectations. Stop expecting a specific result, because what you are looking for is not exactly what your body may be designed to do. For instance, some people who are larger than others will assume that they need to be skinny. What if that's not who you are? You're Queen Latifah. You're not Eva Longoria. You understand what I'm saying? Doesn't mean Queen Latifah is not beautiful. Doesn't mean that Queen Latifah is not healthy. Now, according to her, years ago I did a video on Queen Latifah stating that she was obese at the time. I'm assuming that, considering the person who she has as her trainer, and considering the type of woman that we all know Queen Latifah to be, it is under the best of impressions to believe that she has taken control over her health, especially now. But Queen Latifah is still a large woman. It doesn't matter whether she's in the best shape of her life or not. She's still a larger woman. She's 5'10", just to start off with. I don't know how much she weighs, give or take, but I know she's larger than the average woman. Okay? And with that in consideration, does not mean that she's any less beautiful, any less attractive, or any less fit as she is. Eva Longoria is 5 feet tall, last I checked. Eva Longoria is 5 feet tall. At the time I last heard, she probably weighed 110 pounds. And she gained weight, by the way. When she was on Desperate Housewives, as I understood it, she was 105 pounds. And she got up as high as 110 at the time. So, and she did it for her health. She did it for her well-being, to get that much heavier on purpose. But as you know, she's considerably much smaller than Queen Latifah. Are they both beautiful women? Yes. Daniel Radcliffe, my height. Don't know how much he weighs exactly, but he's in great shape. He's not The Rock. The Rock is 6'4", a whole foot taller. The Rock is anywhere between 240 to 280 pounds at any given point. Not Daniel Radcliffe. But they're both handsome, fit men. One's definitely larger than the other. Okay? So stop looking at things and having an expectation about what it's supposed to look like, especially if you have never been healthy prior to the decision that you've made to be healthy now. One of the things that we have to realize is that easy street walk, that desperate to get to a certain fitness level, yes, when we talk about bodybuilding and all this other stuff, that's a whole nother conversation. But even then, the expectation by doing things a certain way is not necessarily meant for you. It's not necessarily something that you're going to achieve and overcome simply and get to that level simply because you do what they said that they do. You do it exactly the way that they did it, and all of a sudden you're not what you thought you were. Okay? So I want you guys to understand that mindset of it's supposed to is not what you're supposed to go into it with. You're in a learning position. You're supposed to be in the mindset of learning. You're supposed to be in the mindset of growing as a human being. Understanding those small little nuances of when to apply it and when not to apply it. Not every rule that is going to be given to you today, not every single bit of advice that I'm giving you today is absolute and concrete. Is it helpful? 100%. Okay? The encouragement part. Far too many times I've seen people just give up, walk away because it's too hard, or they think they can't afford it, or they're not certain about the journey that they're on, and they become desperate, right? I'm telling you, you can do it. I'm 5 feet 4 inches tall, 153 to 154 pounds last I checked. As a matter of fact, after this show, I'm weighing myself and getting my numbers. Anyway, but I'm 100 and last time I checked, I was 153 pounds, around 16% body fat. As 47 years old, I'm gonna tell you that's phenomenal, by the way. But the thing is that what people have to understand is that your journey is your journey. Never mind everybody else around you. You're not in competition with anybody except for yourself. The only competition is myself. I'm going to tell you, my cousin actually posted it this morning. Shout out to my cousin. And he posted that very same thing about his career path. Started to improve much more the minute he stopped being in competition with everybody else except for himself. The irony of it all is that I've been on that path for roughly about 15 years now. I stopped being concerned about where everybody else is in comparison to me. Because for the first decade of my life, I was ahead of everyone else when it comes to education, knowledge, information, things of that nature. Not kidding you when I tell you my family or my family on my mother's side, some of them used to nickname me the professor. This is not a joke. I'm not making this up. As a matter of fact, if any of them happen to watch this video, go ahead and click in the comments below and let them know that I'm telling you the God's honest truth. But then I hit the what we would call the amortization phase of where everybody else started to catch up and then pass, because I was so concerned with what everybody else thought. I was so concerned with what everybody else was doing. I was so concerned with how come I'm not doing this? How come I'm not doing that? How come I'm not getting the same look? How come I'm not getting the same result in life, popularity, things of that nature? How come I'm not getting any of that? And I have to tell you, it was emotionally stressful. It was heartbreaking to see my contemporaries exceeding in certain pathways in life and I'm just stuck behind. But then, ironically, I want to say earlier this year, it was revealed to me in a way that I should have known, but I was so emotionally invested in keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up with everybody else, that I didn't realize I was ahead still. And to my friends and family out there, that does not, I want you to understand, this is not, I don't mean I was ahead as in I was better than you. I wasn't better than anybody. But what I was is experiencing things earlier than I should have experienced it, because emotionally I was not ready to experience the things that I experienced. When you are graduating at 17 and your contemporaries are graduating at 18, 19, or about to be 19, you start to realize, wait a minute, I'm not who I thought I was. I'm way young. I'm, in terms of school, high school, middle school, I was way younger than the kids I went to school with. Way younger. And I didn't realize how much younger I was until earlier this year. So when I began to realize these things is only when I started to truly understand how everything that I was trying to achieve and accomplish was before my time. And every time I would look at one of my contemporaries and see how they're living and how they're doing and what it seems like they were experiencing, I was like, why am I not there? Why am I not there? What am I doing wrong? What is it that I'm not doing that they are doing? Not in a haterade kind of way, in the sense of, oh, he's got $1 million. Why don't I have $1 million? No, not that whiny crap. What I'm talking about is specifically like, okay, why isn't my career moving the way I want it to? How come I'm not, my career, not in the sense of one person. So I'm not saying like, okay, I have a friend who runs a business. How come I don't have a business? No. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of I have friends that are in a supervisoral position. I'm I'm in the impression I'm the same age as them. Why don't I have this? But what I ended up realizing was is that in my haste to try to achieve something, I was missing clear, obvious, blaring, screaming siren lights, obvious things that I needed to have under my belt before I even moved in this direction. A couple of years ago, it might have been brought to my attention that I might also be autistic. I know it seems weird that here I am being who I am on camera, but in truth, some of the things that I've looked up and some of the things that I've discovered and that have been revealed to me by family members and my own memory and attaching these things to experiences that I've had throughout my entire life, it makes nothing more than sense that my executive function has some issues sometimes and I need to work my way through it. And within that, I need to forgive myself, which gets into the accountability aspect of this. There are things that I could have done better had I either listened or had I understood myself better and knew who I was a lot better. Maybe, just maybe, life would have been a little bit different for me. But I took experiences that I've had and made excuses with them. It might be the reason why I was the way I was, but it's not a good excuse, if that makes sense to me, if that makes sense to you. You have the right to explain your reason, but you cannot use it as an excuse on why you're not where you are. You need to get your mind into the right frame of mind and hold yourself accountable for what it is that you're doing. I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't working hard enough. I wasn't pushing myself. I wasn't challenging myself. I wasn't growing because I was not under the right type of pressure. which leads to how do I get in shape? Let's start with exercise. Only 14% of you do it. Some of you make the world's greatest of excuses as to why you can't do it. I gotta feed my cat. I fell down and I bumped my head. I can't because I have 5 kids and there's nobody to take care of them for me, male or female. We're not being gender specific here. I can't because I just work too much. I can't because I'm I'm not athletic enough. I can't because my family won't let me. They think it's the devil. Whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever the issue is, I can't because I can't afford it. You can afford those Jordans though. You could afford that Gucci belt. You could afford that car payment. You could afford to have Starbucks and eat out every day. You could afford to drink on the weekends. And I said on the weekends. I don't mean one time you have a drink. I'm talking about you're partying all weekend. You could afford to do that. So what your job is stressful. So what your job is hard and it's physical. So what your knee hurts. So what your back hurts. So what your shoulder hurts. Let me explain something to you. Look at my elbow. Right now, I want you to see. Right here, I did something to my elbow about 5 weeks ago. Don't know what it was. Can't begin, well, more than 5 weeks ago. More like 7 weeks ago. Don't know what I did. But it affected my ability to lift. It affected my ability to train. But I didn't let it stop me. What I did is I found a way around it. Thank you for the fact that I learned what I needed to learn in order to achieve those skills, to be able to work around it and not suffer mightily for the goals that I had set for myself over the summer. But at the same time, I'm not going to allow it to be the excuse as to why I did not even try. I may not have gotten exactly where I wanted to be, but I'm not going to let it stop me. So stop using these excuses. Stop being a whiny little bitch. Step up, look yourself in the eye, and tell yourself, today is the day. It all ends. I'm getting my lazy behind up. Yes, you're lazy. No. Look me in the face right now and look me in the face and understand. I'm telling you straight up, you are lazy. You're lazy. You have no excuse. If a man or woman in a wheelchair, no use of their lower limbs, can get up, roll themselves to a fitness facility, and train themselves to such a degree where they can actually do pull-ups in a wheelchair, that they can bench press, get out of a wheelchair, get into a bench, and learn to lift with the parts of themselves that still function. How is it that you, able-bodied, fully capable, can't do it yourself? How can't you? I don't got time, man. I don't got time. Get up earlier. I don't got time. Or go to bed later and make it happen. Eat better. Make sure that the things that you're putting in your body is going to benefit you as opposed to just taste good. Stop looking at it from the standpoint of eating for joy and instead eating for nourishment, eating for performance. Does that mean all your food has to be lame and gross? Absolutely not. But what you shouldn't be doing is eating McDonald's every meal. What you shouldn't be doing is having fast food every single meal. What you shouldn't be doing is having fast food on the daily. Does that make sense? I want you guys to really understand this. Find a fitness regimen that you can get done in a reasonable period of time. You only need 45 minutes to an hour. No more. Shoot, you could even use it. You could get it done in 30 if you're really gangster about it. Okay? You could get all that what you need done and accomplished in 30 minutes if you have the energy and the capacity to do it. So first things first is go to the gym, lift weights, build your muscle storages. Why do you need to build muscle? Because your muscles is the conduit to longevity. It is the cable, how should I put it? It's the cables of the suspension bridge of your life. Without these cables, your bridge is going to collapse. And when your bridge collapses, nothing can cross. And when nothing can cross, I promise you the economy that exists on either side of those bridges will suffer mightily. So therefore, build your bridge and build it well. Sometimes you're going to have to close a lane or two, i.e. surgery, injury. But that doesn't stop you from getting where it is that you have to go. Yes, your knee hurts. So, yes, you have arthritis. Well, so do I. You know the difference between me and you is? My arthritis is not going to stop me until it literally stops me. Until I can't perform anymore because I am in so much pain that I can't function. It hurts to even breathe, okay? And by that point, you already know where it's going. You've got a matter of months, maybe days, weeks, if I get into that level of pain. But you got to push yourself. And then, yes, I don't care what these lame ads tell you about cardio. Do it for your health, for your survival. Am I telling you to run a 5K every day? No. You don't need to do all that. 40 minutes of cardio every day after your exercise. Everybody calls it fasted cardio. You could do that if you want to, but that would be before your workout. And my attitude is I don't think that's a really good idea. Not all the time. Fasted cardio, if that's what you're going to do and leave, that's fine. But fasted cardio to go work out, no. You're trying to lose body fat. You're not trying to lose weight. Is there a burning calories versus burning fat thing? Yes, there is. You can burn calories, and calories don't necessarily mean you're burning fat, but it kind of does, but it kind of doesn't. It's hard for me to explain, but there's levels to it. But you need to do cardio in order to burn fat, if that is your goal. Eat less, do some cardio, lift some weights. Do not eat so little that you're now in detriment to yourself, but eat enough to where you are going to slowly diminish your fat storages to allow your body to get to a level of maintenance to where your body looks exactly the way, well, not exactly the way you want it to look, but it looks good for who you are and how your body's designed. Remember, there's 27 different body types. If you want to be specific, it's 54 because of male versus female. But technically, that really doesn't matter. Each male and female has similar body types of the same 27. All right? So I want you to make sure you understand that. Next, if you don't know what you're doing and you can't seem to get it together on your own, get help. You need a personal trainer. Does it have to be me? No. Should it be me? Yes. Do me a favor and put a 1 in the chat if you need help with this training thing, in getting in shape, being fit. How are you going to do it? What are you going to do to achieve the health and fitness that you, in fact, deserve? May not be what you want, but the one that you deserve. Are you going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger? Probably not. but maybe you will. Who knows? It's not for me to decide. It's not for me to say. Get help if you don't know what the hell you're doing. Don't just pick any program. Talk to people who knows what the hell they're doing and find out what type of program would they be willing to let you use. There are a series of video training systems that when I first started making myself available, everybody was all on it. And I didn't have anything against those programs personally. I had to do my research on them and look at them and see how they work. But once I understood and saw how they worked, I had no issues, no problems whatsoever with how their programs work. Okay? However, if it's not any of those programs, then you need to find a system that is tailor-made for the way you live. But that still does not mean weight training and cardio is not a part of it. It's just how you go about utilizing weight training and cardio to achieve the level of fitness that you want. For y'all cardio queens out there, it's not the end all be all. That is not what fitness is. I'm going to run forever. I'm running for 45 minutes. No. If you can, if you want to, if you're training for something specific like that, but even they still need to lift weights. You will always need to lift weights because the thing is that you're trying to maintain your muscle mass throughout your life. You're trying to build and maintain your muscle mass throughout your life. You're not trying to diminish your muscle mass. You're trying to gain and maintain. Because once you hit the age of 30, every decade thereafter, you're going to lose 10% of your muscle mass. Pretty much guaranteed. Unless you do something about it. Which is lift those weights. Cardio is good for your heart and your blood vessels. It'll keep you stronger, to keep you going. Especially if your diet is relatively normal. Not normal for an American, but relatively normal based on scientific studies. That you're eating your macros, which is your proteins, carbs, and your fats, in equal. But here's another thing. You need all three types of fats. People that like to sit here and tell me, oh, I just eat nothing but plant-based fats. That's nice, but how much cholesterol is in it? Guess what? If you like being a woman, if you like being a guy, my suggestion to you is get some saturated fat in your diet, because without cholesterol, you cannot make the hormones that are gonadotropic, in nature, meaning estrogen, testosterone. Without cholesterol in your diet, you cannot make it. Part of the reason why I express and I educate people on this, that this is probably why you're having low testosterone. Because there's not enough cholesterol in your diet to even make testosterone. Because you're eating like such a rabbit, you cannot create enough testosterone. And I'm not suggesting vegans have lower testosterone levels, because some of them don't have low testosterone levels. But what I'm suggesting is that if there is no means of getting cholesterol of any type in your diet, it is going to be difficult for your body to create gonadotropic hormones to make you effectively experience all the things that your sex allows you to have. You're wondering why you're weak? Maybe you're not getting enough saturated fat in your diet. You're not getting enough cholesterol in your diet. Want to know why you can't maintain a pregnancy? Maybe your body fat percentage is too low, and maybe it's because, or it's too high. Maybe your body fat's too high, maybe your body fat's too low, and you are experiencing these problems because hormonally you're not prepared to carry a child. So from a nutrition standpoint, make sure that you are taking in enough carbohydrates, enough. You don't have to eat yourself silly with carbs. But once you have eaten properly, make sure you maintain the body fat percentage you're supposed to maintain for your gender in order to receive the benefits of your gender specific gifts. Make sure that your training is balanced. You don't want to look like Captain America but can't run worth a damn. You want to be able to look and run like Captain America. You want to be able to perform at any time about anything you do. You don't want to be huffing and puffing in the bed and you're only 20 years old. You don't want to be huffing and puffing in the bed at 40 years old. You want to exceed expectations, okay? You want somebody to look at you and go, who are you? And what are you? Because this is not normal. You don't want to be tired when you're trying to enjoy yourself with your partner. Whether it's in the activity or if it's something physical outside, such as jogging or playing basketball or throwing around a football or even, playing basketball or running around with your kids, your grandkids, your nieces, your nephews. You don't want any of that. You want to be able to definitively know that this is how things are going to be for you. And when you are experiencing certain lulls in your energy, you should be able to know why it's happening because you're not probably taking very good care of yourself at that time. Make sure you stay hydrated all the time. Give me 1 second. Speaking of which. Make sure you stay hydrated. Because your metabolism doesn't move without water. Nothing good happens to your body without water. Even though you think you're drinking a lot of water, you're probably not. The rule of thumb for people that are drinking water, it is 1 ounce per pound of body weight. If you want to get extra specific, it could be 1 ounce per pound of lean muscle. On hot days like these, you want to up it to 1.5 ounces per pound of lean muscle. So the minimum, the majority of you should be drinking is 1 gallon of water a day. Minimum. Yeah, you're going to be running in and out of the bathroom and it's not conducive to this, but guess what? Your health is not their life. It's not their concern, it's yours. Billy, why you seem to be using the bathroom a lot? You have a job to do, right? Why are you always in the bathroom? Because I drink a lot of water and I need to drink a lot of water in order to stay healthy and as youthful as I appear to be at this moment. I need the water. And if I drink this water, I need to use the bathroom and I need somebody to assist me in that. Is there a problem? Because I thought we want to engage in healthy behaviors here because I don't want to cost the company more money because I'm not healthy and now I have to take and spend all this money on healthcare and drugs and all this other stuff. I don't want to do that to you. So I'm trying to take care of my body as best as I can so that way we can make it as a company and I can make it as a human being. Make sure you are supplementing your vitamins and or minerals. A lot of your foods, no matter how good you eat, is not rich in the vitamins and minerals that you need for your body to function. A lot of the times, the reason why you experience fatigue to a high level is because more than likely you are lacking you're lacking the micronutrients that you need in order for your body to function. from your B vitamin complexes to your ADEX, which is A, D, E, and K, which are fat soluble vitamins, and whether it is your zinc, copper, your sodiums, your potassiums, right? I don't want you guys thinking that it's so simple that it's mindless. There has to be some thought involved in what it is that you're doing. There has to be a plan for what it is that you're doing. Now, for those of you out there who are actually watching this video, I want you to understand something. I have the plan. If you are tired of living the way you're living, if you're tired of existing through life simply because you exist, and you want to have an impact on your life, you want to have an impact on this world, you want to make a better go of your life right now, comment in the chat, ask for my help, and I'll send you a message on what you can do next so that I can help you be the best you. Guys, normally I would tell you I'm landing this plane, but today, since there's no videos to show but me explaining to you how this is supposed to go, I want you to understand that this life is only yours and yours alone. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with this life that God gave you? How are you going to live it? Are you going to live it in mediocrity? Are you going to try to circumvent every challenge brought before you, or are you going to meet them head on and run through it? Because I'm going to tell you now, just because you could avoid the conflict or just because you can avoid the issue doesn't mean that it was meant for you to avoid. Some things are meant for you to go through, and this is why things keep repeating for you, because you have not gone through it. You keep going around it, under, but never through it. And until you go through it, nothing's going to change for you. All right? So if you made it this far, I appreciate your time, but give me a like, subscribe, or share, because it helps the algorithm and it gets the information that I put out to more people out there. And I do believe that these messages do deserve to be given to other people. So without further delay, have a nice day. Be the best you. Class is Stoutt.